Today, I'm not doing anything, teacher. I still just reading a book and anything because I want to design and I need to read first. That's what
Okay.
I've done
Okay.
today.
You said you want to design, but you have to read first. What are you designing?
I'm designing interior and architecture, like that. That's
Okay.
my job. Mhm.
Nice. And so, what are you reading about? It's
No, I'm
probably
just refreshing
design.
my. I'm reading not related to my job actually. I'm reading for refreshing my brain, just for
Okay.
make me refresh first before I get to the another uh, jobs or work.
Okay, so kind of reading is refreshment. That's good.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
okay, cool. And so I guess today is Friday. What are you gonna do this weekend?
This weekend I'm not. I think I'm going to work for the whole weekend because I have. Yeah, I will work this weekend.
Okay, some more work. I guess that's
Some more work.
good.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
I
have
guess
my weekend today.
okay.
I have my day off today, so tomorrow
Yeah.
I'm going to work. Yeah.
All right. So
And
make
how
the
about
most of it.
your you don't celebrate Thanksgiving in where you know I
In
forgot.
Costa Rica,
Colombia. Oh yeah, Costa Rica, neighbor
close.
Colombia. Close,
Um,
yes.
yeah, right next to it. So no, not really. Didn't do too much yesterday for Thanksgiving. Kind of a
Mhm.
slow one. Um, but yeah, and so I guess if it's just you and I, let's get started with today's class. I'm not sure where everybody else is. Um, but
Yes,
yes, we'll be
because
talking
I
about
see that yes, because I see that the has full, but no one.
yeah, it said it was. It's
Yeah.
very strange. Maybe it's because it started a minute late. But okay, let's start. Can you read the title and the next few lines?
History, Benedict Arnold. Today we will learn new vocabulary, learn about Benedict Arnold, citizen, discuss the American Revolution, discuss the idea of betrayal.
Nice. Maybe just treason.
Treason.
Good. That was perfect.
I
And
think
yeah, let's go to the next page. And Audie, can you ask and answer the first question?
what do you know about American Revolution? Mm, I didn't know so much about the American Revolution, but um, what I know is just about before the first president. I forgot his name. Is it who's the first president? I forgot, sir.
George
George,
Washington?
George, George Washington. No, the very first one is it George Washington after him?
Hmm? Uh, After George Washington, gosh, I wish I knew my presidents. I knew somebody who knew them all in
Uh,
a row. Abe Lincoln was the 13th, and
Lincoln.
he's probably the
Yeah,
next most famous.
yeah. Mr. Lincoln, there is revelation for Mr. Lincoln because he died by someone who shot him. That's what I know about the American history, and I think that's a little bit revelation.
Okay, good. Yeah, so um, you know about Abe Lincoln being shot after the Civil War, which
Yeah.
definitely is a huge turning point in American history. Okay, and yeah, he's probably one of the more famous ones. He was a little bit after. That'd be the Civil War instead of the Revolutionary War. So the Revolutionary War was earlier, and George Washington was the first president. But that was good. I mean, still good information about American history. Maybe. What about this question? Can you read and answer that question?
Do you have any famous, well-known or the bad quality of deed. Figure in your country? No, I didn't know.
Okay. So you don't know any figures in your country who maybe are known for something bad that they've done?
Um, no, because the bad situation is just about the corruption in my country, and I don't know is it has connection or not with this topic. I don't know
Okay.
because
I think it doesn't have to do with this topic necessarily. Just an infamous figure. So somebody who maybe even like a robber. So we have like
yeah,
I think
we
this
have
is
many
been reported.
robber. Yeah, we have many robber. They're all famous, and
Okay.
many
So you have
people following them.
okay. So who would be a famous robber from your country?
It could be our president, Mr. Suharto, I think. Our
Okay.
second president.
Your second
I'm
president?
sorry to say that. Yeah, I'm sorry to say that people in Indonesia, but I think yes, he is.
Okay. Yeah, that's a legitimate. Yeah. So maybe an infamous figure would be your second president.
But
Okay.
he also, but he also well known for his contribution for this country. So it's balancing.
Okay. Into the country. And Audie, I'm not sure. Where are you from again?
Indonesia.
Indonesia. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
good. So, second country of Indonesia, or second president of Indonesia. All right. And let's go on to the next page. Let's talk about some of these words. And Anatoly, welcome to class. Anatoly, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. And so, Anatoly, can you read the title and the directions?
Uh, on the screen,
Yeah.
vocabulary. Read the words and ask about words you don't know.
Good. Can you just repeat vocabulary?
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary. And let's have Audie, can you read or can you read all of the words?
A traitor, rebellion, commission, defect, obtain, merchant, in debt, bitter, scheme,
Good. That was really good. Only a couple small things. Rebellion.
rebellion, rebellion,
Yeah, rebellion.
grab,
Then a defect. Or actually to defect. Sorry.
defect, defect,
So, sorry, this is a word with two pronunciations. We have defect, which is defect, like that, and then a defect, which is the same spelling, defect. So that's
defect.
second one is a problem
Yeah.
or a mistake in something. And this is to abandon something.
Oh, yeah. It's yeah.
So one's a noun and one's a verb.
Mhm. Different intonation,
Yeah,
different pronunciation.
exactly. So it's a little bit tricky. But and then the other one was indebted.
Oh, yeah, they have it.
Indebted.
Indebted.
Good. Okay. And does anybody have any questions about any of these words? Any questions about these words?
No, teacher.
No.
Okay. And so can you guys each choose a word and write a sentence in the chat box with your word? Good, Anadoli. Can you make a maybe a little bit longer sentence?
Okay.
Okay. And Audie, can you read your sentence?
Indonesia had had bitter experience since 1905 to 1965.
Okay. We would want to use the present perfect instead of the past perfect.
Mhm. So it can be used present perfect.
Yeah, so how would we change that into the present perfect?
Had have. Indonesia had have bitter.
Not quite. So we change this word.
uh, Indonesia have bitter experience since
Not quite. So Indonesia is like he, she, or it. So how do we translate the verb to have?
has. Oh, has.
Yeah. So has, had, and we can either make this plural or we can add an article.
Oh, okay. Bitter experience. Mm, Nation has
Oh,
had a bitter,
yeah.
a bitter experience. Experiences.
Yeah, so it's one or the other, Audie. And I think
Mm-hmm.
if you're saying since 1945
Mm-hmm.
through 1965, so it's like um, the period after this. So the period after this was bitter. Are you saying that the years from 1945 to 1965 were themselves bitter?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it's better.
In that case, we'd use the past tense. India had a bitter experience in the years
Uh,
between 1945 and 1965. Can you read that one more time, Audie?
okay, teacher. Indonesia had a bitter experience in the years between 1945 and 1965.
Good. And that would be better. Indonesia had a bitter experience in the years between. Yeah, that's
Okay,
great.
thank you, teacher.
Anatoly, actually, Ken, welcome to class. Ken, how's it going?
Yes, I'm fine. As I'm fine. How are you?
Doing well. And Ken, if you want, feel free to write a sentence while we're correcting this other
Hmm.
sentence.
Okay,
Anatoly,
using these
any
words.
word. Yeah, any
Okay.
word. Anatoly, can you read your sentence?
Okay. Creating a tricky financial schemes was his profession.
Okay. And we have to remove an article.
Profession. Hmm?
Yeah, profession is good. We have to remove an article.
Uh, a tricky creating tricky without a.
Hmm. Exactly. So creating tricky financial schemes was his profession. And also your other sentence, people don't like traders, was good. So I wouldn't change that at all. Really nicely done. Okay.
Thank you.
And I think we're just about done. Ken, are you almost finished with your sentence?
Not yet. I'm writing. Sorry.
Okay,
If there-
that's fine. We can, when you're ready, just let me know.
Okay. Okay.
And let's have Audie, can you try the first sentence?
The was only partially successful. A new country formed, but the colonial government elected the new leader. Mm, the was partially successful. The plane. Oh, the okay. I'm guessing now. The commissions.
Not quite. It's not the commission. Anatoly, do you have any ideas?
Yeah.
Rebellion.
Mm-hmm. The rebellion was only partially successful. Does that make sense, Audie?
Yeah, this makes sense. I want, but not quite sure.
Okay. So yeah. So the group of people who were trying to rebel against the old government were somewhat successful. So they formed a new country, but the old colonial powers, the people they were like rebelling against, elected the new leader. So they got a new country, but they had kind of the same government. So it was only partially successful. Does that make sense, Audie?
Yes, that makes sense. And that what we have that we um I mean like what we have when Suharto has elected for another new leader.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Yeah. Um, I mean uh I said that Suharto is famous because of
Ah,
his corruption, and then he was he was there's so many people rebel for what he've done, and then changed to another person,
okay,
another
okay.
person.
So yeah, the same thing that's happening in Indonesia, maybe, or something similar. Okay. And Ken, can you read your sentence?
Okay, rebellion gathers on the street for maybe for the protest against the government.
Okay, so for the protest against the government? Yeah. Or you could say to protest.
To protest. Okay.
And we wouldn't say rebellions.
Mm-hmm.
You could say
Rebels.
the rebels
Mm-hmm.
or the protesters.
Protesters. Okay. Maybe
And
rebels and rebellions has negative connotation.
it's more active. So a
More active.
rebel would be somebody who uses, violence or other methods
Mm.
to,
Uh-huh. I see.
actually enact change, whereas a protester tries to use his
Mm-hmm.
voice to
Mm-hmm.
say this needs to change.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Um, and yeah, rebels are seeking they're seeking more of a change in the governmenting or like the governmental powers. So they change the country completely rather than just like cause change to some
Mm-hmm.
extent. So a protester is looking to cause change, and a rebel is looking to like change the government or remove the current powers.
Mm-hmm.
Wisla, welcome to class. Wisla, how are you doing? Wisla, are you there?
Hello, I'm doing well. What about you? How about you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. You can ask what about you too. How about you? What about you? Both are perfect. So yeah, don't worry about that. Okay, and let's have uh, Anatoly. Can you try this next sentence?
Okay. Blank usually buy and sell goods. Merchant.
Merchants. We'd actually.
Merchants, yes.
That's my fault. But good. Yeah, merchants usually buy and sell goods. Um, okay, good. And what about the next one, Ken?
Okay, it's difficult. Let's put it like little by a bitter conspirator who mm, brought to the light. I have no idea.
Okay. Maybe Wisla, do you have any ideas for this one?
It was brought to light by a bitter conspirator who the
Defected.
the in debt
Defected?
maybe.
Excuse me? Not indebted. I think, Ken, you were onto something.
Defected?
Yeah, where would you put it?
The first?
Not.
No. Okay, second.
Yeah.
Defected.
So who defected? What's that mean? So the conspirator, the bitter conspirator who defected. What's that mean? What would be a bitter conspirator who defected?
Let's put right. Commission? Traitor? Com Obtain?
Not quite.
Rebellion maybe.
Rebellion. Yeah.
You could say rebellion or scheme, I'd say. The scheme was brought to light. So like a scheme is usually kind of like a hidden plan. It could be just a plan in general, could be a scheme. But rebellion would work as well. So the rebellion was brought to light by a bitter conspirator who defected, or the scheme was brought to light. What's that mean? Maybe, Audie, what's that mean?
Which
Okay, so the third sentence. So the scheme or the rebellion was brought to light. What's it mean that something was brought to light?
the rebellion is better conditions.
Not quite. Anatoly, do you think you can explain it?
Relieve the truth.
Yeah, so if it's something is brought to light, it's, uncovered. So you are shown the truth of something. So the scheme or the rebellion was, a secret before, but now it's been brought to light. It's, the secret has been told by a bitter conspirator who defected, who abandoned the cause, who left. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes sense.
Okay. And so bitter, it just means he was like angry about something, or he was unpleased, or something along those lines. And so let's try the next one. Wisla.
The man only became blank when he found out how terribly blank he was. It was the only way to cut him back the money. The man only became indebted.
Not quite. He only became
Became he found out how terribly defected maybe. No, it was over.
it's a noun.
No, I really it's a
So
a commission.
not quite, no. So he only became a what? When he found out how terribly blank he was. Maybe
Came.
selling his country's secrets is the only way he could earn back the money. What about that? Does that help?
Only became, no.
Okay, who can help him out here? Does anybody know?
Traitor?
Yeah, the man only became a trader when
He was in debt.
when he found out how terribly indebted he was.
Indebted.
Yeah, so he owed money to other people. He was indebted. Okay. And can you read that whole sentence, Wisla?
Of course, the, the man only became a trader when he found out how terribly indebted he was. Selling his country's secrets was the only way to could earn back the money.
Good.
Now
Perfect.
it's very
And
clear.
now it's clear.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
know
good.
what does mean the word trader.
Okay, so you didn't know what a trader was?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, so a trader is somebody who switches sides, usually. So in war, a trader is somebody who helps out the enemy. And yeah, I mean, it could be in small things like soccer games too. If somebody plays for Real Madrid and then they switch teams and play for Barcelona, they could be considered a trader. But Lipe, welcome to class. Lipe, how are you doing?
Hi, teacher. I'm fine. And you?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. And Ahmad, welcome to class too. Ahmad, how are you
Yeah,
doing?
thank you. Yeah, I'm fine too. Yeah.
Okay, good. Um, and really quickly, Ahmad, is it Ahmad or Ahmad?
Ahmed.
Ahmad.
Yeah.
Okay, and so let's try Audie. Can you try the last sentence?
Yeah.
Audie, can you try the last sentence?
Okay, teacher. If you want to blank a good blank with the army, it helps to be loyal and smart. If you want to obtain a good let me see, a good merchant with the army, no, not
Not quite.
yeah, and let a good commission
Mm-hmm.
with the army, a good commission.
Yeah, so what's a commission? Does anybody know? Can anybody explain what a commission is?
Feedback.
It is a money, salary, wage.
Yeah, so a commission is what you're paid to do a certain job. Usually in the army or in some military fields, a commission is like a post or it's a job. So you obtain a good commission, it'd be a good job with the army. So yeah, but it's also what you get paid. Um, it's money. Okay, yeah. So a lot of salesmen get paid on commission, so they get paid a percentage of what they sell is called getting commission. But yeah, when we're talking about the army, generally it's just a post or a job, is what we'd say. Um, but good. And so this is tricky. Does anybody have any questions about any of these words or anything on this page? Any questions here?
Indebted, sir.
Okay, and who can explain what indebted means?
Maybe in
When
debt.
Yeah, in debt to someone. Owing someone money would be exactly it. So if you're indebted, you owe somebody money. Any other questions?
Excuse me, could you explain one time more this commission, because I don't understand. It's a group of people, or is the a part of money which somebody achieve?
Okay, so in this case, a commission is pretty much like a job with the military.
Ah,
But
okay. Mhm.
so if you get paid with commission, it could also be in sales. The percentage of money the salesman keeps when he sells something. So that's a commission as well.
This way, the commission means the same as margins, for example?
Not quite. It's a little bit different. So
Mhm.
if a salesman, and this is a different definition than what we're using here, is paid on commission, he is paid only according to how much he sells. So he's paid according to how much he sells. He makes a percentage of what he sells would be to be paid on commission. But in this case, we're talking is like a post in the army or military is a commission. It's like a job. So hopefully that makes sense. That's all you need to know about it in this case. So hopefully that makes sense. Any other questions? Okay. And so let's go on to the next page. Let's do some reading, and let's start with Lipe. Can you read the title and this first paragraph?
Okay. Benedict Arnold was a general during in the American Revolutionary War, who originally fought fought uh, fought for the American Continental Army, but defected to the British Army. While a general on the American side, he obtained command of the fortifications at West Point, New York, overlooking the cliffs at the Hudson River, upriver from British occupied New York City, and planned to surrender in surrender it to the British forces. After after the plan was exposed in September 1780, he was commissioned into the British Army as a brigadier general.
A brigadier.
Brigadier.
Yeah,
Brigadier.
a brigadier general. And
Brigadier general.
hold on. So brigadier. Brigadier. And then commissioned. Commissioned.
Commissioned.
And then we have exposed. Exposed.
Exposed.
Good. Exposed. And then what was this? Surrender.
Surrender.
Good.
Surrender.
Surrender. Planned.
Planned.
Occupied.
Occupied.
Yeah, occupied.
Occupied.
And then river.
River.
Good. West.
West.
And obtained.
Sorry. Obtained. Obtained.
Obtained. Good.
Obtained.
Perfect. And so does anybody have any questions about that first paragraph? Any questions?
Commissioned, we read before on the previous page this word in different meaning. I am right or not? We mentioned about commission as the amount of money. In this case, last line in the first
Okay.
paragraph.
So yeah, a man, like he was commissioned. He was given a job. He was given a job or a post in the British Army. So again, remember, like in the chat box, there are two definitions. One was the amount you got paid if you're a salesman, but what we're talking about in this class is the way that it's used in the military. Usually it's given a job or a post. So you can commission somebody, it's you give them a job.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And any other questions here?
If I could understand in this paragraph, it's about that Benedict Arnold was a trailer from American Army, and he defected to the British Army. Yes?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's good, because I was not sure.
Yeah, so in the Revolutionary War, he was in the American Army, and then he went to the British Army. Let's read a little bit more. Let's have Anatoly, can you read the next paragraph?
Okay. Born in Connecticut, Arnold was a merchant operating ships on the Atlantic Ocean when the war broke out in 1775. After joining the growing army outside Boston, he distinguished himself through acts of intelligence and bravery.
Good. You did a really good job with your pronunciation. Really good work with distinguished, intelligence, bravery, some difficult words. Maybe the only thing, Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Good. Connecticut. That's good. That's a difficult word to pronounce. But let's go here. And let's have Ken. Can you read the first half of this paragraph?
Okay. Before that, I have one question. So he traded from Continental Army to British Army.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning, he joined the Continental Army, and after that, he joined British Army.
Exactly.
Oh, I see. Kind of traitor.
Definitely a traitor.
Okay.
He's still synonymous in the United States.
Because we thought all go from British Army to American Army this time.
Yeah, I think so.
It's unexpected way.
Yeah. Okay, and so yeah, Ken, can you read the first part of this paragraph?
Successes. Okay, despite Arnold's successes, he was passed over for promotion by the Continental Congress, while other officers claimed credit for some of his accomplishments. Adversaries in military and political circles brought charges of corruption or other malfeasance, but most often he was acquitted in formal inquiries. Congress investigated his account and found he was indebted to Congress after spending much of his own money on the war effort. Frustrated and bitter at this, as well the alliance with France and failure of Congress to accept Britain's in 1778 proposal to grant full self-governance in the colonies. Arnold decided to change sides and opened secret negotiations with the British.
Good. Yeah. So, inquiries was the only thing I really saw.
Inquiries.
Yeah, inquiries.
Inquiries.
And so, who can sum up this paragraph? Can anybody explain, or does anybody have any questions?
On the fourth line, malfeasance.
Yeah, malfeasance.
for instance?
It's just bad things, really, just like generally things that were bad. So they
Ah,
claimed corruption and other just like bad actions.
mm, okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
It's strange. He spent money for success of Americans,
Yeah, and then
and
they said,
it was the reason why he he moved to the Britain side.
well, so yeah, at first he spent money on the war effort, so he spent his own money. But then after, or like during the war, later in the war, Congress looked into his funds and said that he still owed them money. Um, so yeah, there was a couple reasons for that. So the story is a little bit more intricate, but yeah, that's kind of what happened. And maybe Wisla, can you kind of explain this paragraph? Can you explain it a little bit? So what's happening here, Wisla?
I'm sorry.
So what's happening in that paragraph? Can you explain what it's trying to say in your own words?
Uh, uh, Arnold was succeeded general in American army, but the officers claim that he was indebted, and the Congress investigate his accounts and found that he spent too much money, and he was really indebted, and Arnold spent a lot own money to afford war with Britons, and unfortunately later was really in debt, and the reason because the Congress claim him about that he has finance problems. He start to speak with the Britons to improve his financial situation.
Okay, so he spoke with, yeah, sort of, more or less. Yeah, and he was a little bit angry about some other things as well. Okay, and Audie, can you read this next paragraph?
Okay. Um, but I have question in the first paragraph first, teachers.
Okay.
Uh, can I say that this is the reason why the Arnold um Arnold changed sides to British Army?
Yeah, you could definitely say that. That's part of the reason, at least.
Okay. Yeah. In July 1780 was given command of the Fort West Point. Arnold's scheme to surrender to Fort the British was exposed when American fleets captured British Major John Andre carrying papers that revealed the plot. Upon, upon learning of Andre's capture, Arnold fled down the Hudson River to the British warship Vulture. Narrowly down the Hudson River, the British warship narrowly avoided capture by the forces of George Washington, who had been alerted to the plot.
Good. I think that's good. And so, does anybody have any questions here? Any questions on that paragraph?
About the first sentence, who was given, we don't have a subject here.
Um,
Uh,
Yeah, so in July 1780, Arnold
Ah,
was given.
okay.
So Benedict Arnold was given. Sorry. You could
Okay.
also say he.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Let's go to the next page. And let's have Audie. Can you ask Lipe the first question?
Ipe, why did Benedict Arnold switch sides in the Revolutionary War?
Lipe, are you there?
Hi. It's to answer this question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait a second. What it switch means?
Change.
Change. Okay. Um, I think I remember that. Uh, that Benedict Arnold switched sides because he had a problem with the Congress.
Hmm.
He had a problem with the Congress.
Yeah.
I think a doubt with the Congress.
Yeah. So they said he was indebted to them. So he owed them money.
Yes, indebted. Yes.
Yeah. Can anybody else think of any other reasons why he switched sides? What other reasons?
Can I try? He was also frustrated of the claim made by officers um, um, that he spent too much money and was indebted.
Hmm. Yeah. I think officers claimed he was corrupt too. But yeah, that he spent too much money, that he was indebted. Um, Definitely frustrated by that. I think another thing. So he was also frustrated and bitter with the alliance with France. So he had something against the French. He was
Mhm.
maybe a big French fan. And he was mad that Congress didn't accept the proposal of self-governance in the colonies. So those were some things that he was maybe irritated about or frustrated with.
Sorry,
And
what does mean grant colonies?
okay, grant
Yes, grant colony
is to give,
to give.
and the colonies are the original like 13 states that ended up making the U.S. So those are referred to as the colonies when they were still under British rule. And so, yeah, there was a something passed by Britain that would have given the colonies self-governance, but the colonies didn't accept. They wanted complete freedom from Great Britain.
So
Um,
self-governance means it becomes like a British common country or something like that?
Self-governance is just self-rule. So
Uh-huh.
they get to choose their own leaders, but they are still technically under the rule of Great Britain.
Uh-huh, I
If
see.
So that would have been the terms of self-governance. But self-governance literally means you choose your own governors, you choose your own leaders, your government.
Mm.
Um, Okay. And Lipe, can you ask Anatoly the next question?
Was Benedict Arnold is in good standing with the military before his defection? Explain.
As I remember, he was in good standing with military because he was appointed for the important position in American Army, and American government gave him position for he commanded fort. I don't remember title name.
Yeah. Called West Point. Exactly. Really good. That was perfect. And Anatoly, can you ask Ken the next question?
Okay. Can what was Benedict Arnold plotting to do?
Yes, he was plotting, how can I say? I think he's almost like a spy in the American military, and he stayed inside the American military, and he pretend to be like a soldier in continent side, but maybe he leaking information to British side, and he how can I say manipulate continental army fort to be surrendered by British army.
Huh? Yeah, so maybe he planned to have a continental fort surrender to the British Army. Exactly. So yeah, he planned to surrender West Point to the British Army in New York. Yeah, good. And so unfortunately, we're just out of time. I do have another class right after this, guys. If you want to join, I'd love to have you. But I do have to go. Thanks for coming into class. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys again soon.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
Bye bye, teacher. See you.